Let's give a warm round of applause to our speaker, the Possibility Igniter, Sha Nacino.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Can you please look at the person beside you? And if you're seated beside a woman, can you please tell her, you look so good today? Okay. And if you're seated beside a man, can you please tell him, pwede na? Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is very exciting, ethics. When you hear of the word ethics, do you get excited or do you think it's boring? It's something that we don't need. So, after my talk this morning, you will look at ethics. You will not look at ethics in the same way again because you will equate ethics with who you are. You will equate ethical brilliance with who you are. And this is how I see you right now. Superheroes. Superheroes, you bring light. Sabi nga ni Sir Al kanina, sa kasuluk-sulukan ng mga kabahayan sa buong Pilipinas. Imagine kung walang ilaw sa mga bahay-bahay. Imagine kung wala tayong ilaw ngayon, walang programa. So you are superheroes because you bring light and joy to your respective communities. And you play a huge role in making a difference in the lives of your localities. Do you agree? Yes. Does your seatmate look like a superhero? I'd like to greet everyone who are here, everyone who's here. So President Al Castillon, Sir Lito Yap, Dr. Pedrito Bacolio, and all the members and officers of Phabdrec, and also Phabdrec who are here. This is such an exciting topic for me. You are all superheroes, and that is the essence of ethical brilliance. Now, I'd like to share with you a story. Who among you is familiar with this brand of car? Beetle. Naalala ko nung high school kami, pag may dumadaan na Beetle, pendong piece. Okay. Nangyari din ba yun sa province nyo? Sa inyo rin po, sir. Okay. Sampalan. Sa amin po, Batok. I am based in Manila, but my roots are from Isabela. Meron po bang taga-Isabela dito? Ayun. So, Ibanag po ako. Ibanag nga. Amo pag mag-Ibanag. So this brand is called Beetle, and it was made by Volkswagen. So that's the brand Volkswagen. In 2008, Volkswagen won the Green Car of the Year award. And it was so successful that it helped Germany recover from the great crisis of 2008. In 2015, it was the #1 automaker in the entire world. So sa buong mundo, ganun po siya kasikat. But only a few months later, it faced a huge scandal. And what was that scandal? They discovered that Volkswagen cheated on their carbon emission tests. Hindi totoo na green or environmentally friendly yung cars nila. They cheated. And because of those unethical practices, they faced these damages, 30 billion euros in losses. They faced reputational damage, loss of trust, which then led to decline in sales. These are the dangers of not doing business ethically. And I'm looking at all of you superheroes. For sure, this is not you. You are here, and you are making a huge difference in your respective communities. Now, let me share another story. Unethical practices can lead to this, right? Now, let me share another story. Who among you likes to drink coffee? What's your favorite coffee brand? Starbucks, narinig ko, Starbucks. So Starbucks, on the other hand, conducts their business ethically. So, Howard Schultz, who was the CEO of Starbucks, was committed to ethical practices. He was giving health benefits even to part-time employees of Starbucks. And they were ethically sourcing coffee. And because of that, in 1987, they had 11 stores. When he stepped down as the CEO in 2000, they had 3,500 stores. And up to the date, 2024, Starbucks is still well-loved by people. Alam mo yung feeling na pag nag-Starbucks ka, feeling mo, I have arrived. Ganon. So this is what ethical brilliance is. Ethical brilliance leads to fearless possibilities. And this is exactly why we're tackling this topic. I know for sure you are already conducting business ethically, so this is more of a review. All right? What does ethical brilliance really mean? We're going to unpack the 5 pillars of ethical brilliance. The first pillar is transparency. Transparency means that you are authentic. You say as you do what you say you would do. The next pillar is reliability. Next is uprightness. And then next, stewardship. And the last pillar is tenacity. Now, let's flesh out these pillars of ethical brilliance one by one. So the first one is transparency. So transparency means you are authentic. You don't pretend to be who you are not. Okay? One of the most popular actresses and singers in the Philippines is Ann Curtis. Anyone who knows Ann Curtis? Okay, of course, kilala natin lahat si Ann Curtis, di ba? And we also know that Ann Curtis started not as a singer, but she loves to sing. And in fact, lagi siyang kinakansyawan ng mga kaibigan niya, sila Vice Ganda, kasi sintonado siya. But today, Ann Curtis is a great singer. Si Sir kanina na komenta, napakaganda ng boses. May I see a raise of hands? Who among you here sing? Meron po ba dito mahilig kumanta? Okay, may I share a personal story? I also love to sing, ever since I was young. And every time I sing, I would feel so alive. It was one of my passions. I thought it was my hidden talent. But everyone thought I had to keep it hidden. Every time I sing, my papa, my brother, my friends, my mentors would tell me, Sha, can you please do us a favor? Can you please stop singing? Don't worry, let's get to that. The reason is because if there are 4 singing voices, bass, tenor, alto, and soprano, mine was sintonado. So I decided to end my dream of becoming a singer. And then one day, I decided to meet a voice coach, not a singing voice coach, but a speaking voice coach, because I wanted to make my voice a little louder. So we met in a busy coffee shop, and he told me, Sha, sing. Now, that was the first time someone asked me to sing. And so I didn't want to let that opportunity pass by. So I stood up, and I sang right in the middle of the coffee shop. And then I sat down. And you know what the person in front of me said? He said, Sha, you have a beautiful voice. You are meant to sing. And I almost fell off my chair. What voice did I listen to? Why was everyone telling me that I shouldn't sing? It so happened that that person, his name is Jerome, was actually a singing coach. And he has coached some of the most popular Filipino singers today. And so I decided to heed the voice of Jerome, and I just kept on listening to him. Fast forward to today, with all humility, I am now a recording artist. Correction. International recording artist. In 2021, I went to Boracay to social distance during the height of the pandemic. And then the idea of creating music videos came to mind. And I thought, wow, that is such a beautiful idea. 2 days later, I was out in Boracay with a team of videographers complete with their drone. And we were shooting the first 3 of our 31 music videos so far. Now, I know you were clamoring for me to give you a sample. Did I hear it right? Okay. So I prepared a music video for you. So this, alam niyo po, medyo mahirap pumili kasi 31 po yung music videos natin. So medyo mahirap pumili. Ano yung ipapakita ko sa inyo? So I chose a music video and a song that I think everyone knows. Everyone in this room knows. The title of the song is, There's a Kind of Hush. Yun. Meron po tayong mga mics dito. Kung sino po matatapang dyan at mahilig kumanta, now let's be transparent. Whether magaling na yung kumanta or gustong-gusto nyo lang talagang kumanta, this is your chance. Grab the mic, lyrics will be flashed on screen, and everyone will participate. May I invite everyone to please stand up? And I'd like to call our energetic hosts, Sir John and Sir Francis, to join us in front. Okay, may I invite everyone to please stand up? Again po, may mga mics doon. Kung sino yung gustong kumanta, please feel free to sing along. And for everyone else, we're going to dance. The music video, there's a kind of hush. Again, please grab the mic, sing along. Hindi po ako makikising along. I'll give the floor to you, but I will dance with you. Okay?
So listen very carefully, close enough, and you will see what I mean.
Chica?
The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear on you.
Forever
and ever, there's a kind of hush. I wanna hear more tonight. I wanna hold you in your arms. I'm falling in love. So listen very carefully. You're close enough and you will see what I mean. It isn't real. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear.
Thank you! Alright! Di ba hindi lang kayo superheroes? Singers and dancers din po tayo. Did you have fun? Okay. So, let's talk about the next pillar of ethical brilliance. So we talked about the first pillar, right? Transparency. The next pillar is letter R, reliability. So what does reliability mean? It means that you are true to your word. When you say, I'll get, I'll get this done, will you really get that job done? When you say, I'll meet you at 8 a.m., will you really meet someone at 8 a.m.? So that's what reliability means. It means you are true to your word. When it comes to brands, Jollibee is one of the most reliable brands. Whether you're eating Jollibee in the Philippines or in other countries, they are consistent to giving joy to Filipinos. And also our pride, Lea Salonga. If you hire her to sing for your events, you can rely that she'll give you a world-class performance. So that's what reliability is. You are true to your word, you are true to your brand promise. Let's do a little activity right now. I know you just danced a while ago. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to dance again. So can you please take out your phones? Okay, let's do a little activity and a little experiment. I want to show you that I'm true to my word. Okay? So I have this ebook called How to Make Your Dreams Come True, and I want to deliver it right to your inbox, right to your phones in the next few seconds. Okay, in the next few seconds, and you can test if my word is reliable. So my promise is that in the next few seconds, the ebook will be in your inbox. So all you need to do is to scan this QR code. Okay, scan this QR code right now, or go to shanacino.com/dreams, and let's test it out. Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And let me know if you received something on your email. Okay, if you can scan, so you can also go to the URL shanacino.com/dreams. So this is a little experiment. And see if I am true to my promise. I'm here on stage, and I'm promising you that in the next few seconds, I will send you something in your inbox. So if you got it in your inbox, just raise your hand or just clap so I could see you and hear you. Signal. Okay, sana po malakas yung signal. Okay, si ma'am, nakuha na niya. Alright, who else got it? Yay! Okay, si ma'am din. Alright, so that is what reliability means. If you say you will deliver something, if you promise something, they can rely on your word. You are true to your word. Your word, para siyang batas. Pag sinabi mo, gagawin mo. Okay? So that's what reliability means. Okay, the third pillar of ethical brilliance is called uprightness. Uprightness means you do the right thing, even if it's difficult. Have you ever been apprehended by a traffic enforcer? Sino po dito mga nagda-drive? Okay, sino po mga nahuli na? I'm driving here in Manila, and I remember in December 2023, I was apprehended by a traffic enforcer because I turned left at an inner street, and when I emerged to the other side, the traffic enforcer flagged me and said, "Ma'am, may violation po kayo." Tinanong ko siya, "Sir, ano po yung violation?" Tapos sabi niya, "Bawal pong mag-left, one way na po yan." Now, pre-pandemic, lagi po akong dumadaan dun sa daan na yon at pwedeng mag-left. So, for the longest time, di po ako dumadaan dun. So, nag-sorry ako. Sabi ko, "Sir, pasensya na po. Hindi ko po alam na bawal na mag-left." So, he proceeded to lecture me on traffic rules and regulations. Tapos sabi niya, ang fine po dito is 2,500 pesos and you need to attend a 3-day seminar. Then he got my driver's license. And then he got his paper, which was his ticketing paper. And he was attempting to write, but he was not really writing anything. So inulit-ulit po niya sa akin, 2,500 po ang multa. 3-day seminar, kailangan niya pong pumunta. Now, I was in a hurry, and I did not want to pay 2,500 pesos. I did not have time. I won't have time to attend a 3-day seminar. So the traffic enforcer kept repeating to me, that the fine was 2,500. And I was really pleading with him. Sabi ko, sir, baka po, pwede niyong patawarin na po ako. Tingnan niyo po yung driver's license ko, 10 years validity. And if you are driving, you know that a driver's license with 10 years validity means that you didn't have traffic violations. So sabi ko po, sir, tingnan niyo po, 10 years, ibig sabihin po, sumusunod po ako sa batas, wala pong traffic violations. And the traffic enforcer asked me a very powerful question. Sabi niya, ano pong gusto niyong gawin natin? You know what that question means. Ano pong gusto niyong gawin natin? If you are in my position, what would you do? You're in a hurry. Paying 2,500 pesos was too much money. Attending a 3-day seminar is a hassle. And now the traffic enforcer is giving you a way out. And he is asking you, ano pong gusto niyong gawin natin? That was a very difficult moment for me. Because I did not want to pull out a bill. That was non-negotiable for me. So I pleaded with him again and said, sir, sige na po, patawarin niyo na po ako. Nag-lecture na po kayo sa akin, alam ko na po. Next time, matuto na po ako. The traffic enforcer, again, attempted to write, but he was not really writing anything. And he repeated the question to me, ano pong gusto niyong gawin natin? Finally, I said, okay po, tiketan niyo na po ako. And he hesitated to write. And then his supervisor came over and asked what was happening. So we explained to him what was happening. And then the supervisor said, okay, since you know you made the mistake, and you admitted your mistake, and you said sorry, and also because you were smiling, and you were pleading in a respectful way, we will let you go. It is so possible to conduct business in ethical ways. Pero alam niyo po, ano yung pinaka-proud ako? At ano yung pinaka-masaya ako? Bukod sa hindi ko po kailangang magbayad at hindi po ako na-hassle. The reason why I felt so good was because my papa was in the driver's seat. My little siblings were in the car as well. And they just allowed me, they just let me talk to the traffic enforcer. My papa did not intervene. Maybe he was looking, what will my daughter do? So he just allowed me. And you know, whether my papa was there or my little siblings were there, I would do the same thing. To be honest, mahirap po talaga. Mahirap talaga siya. But I would rather pay the fine than sell my dignity, than sell my honor. Because I'm not worth 2,500 pesos. I'm not worth 5,000, even millions. My dignity is worth so much more than that. And it's something that money cannot buy. So, ethical brilliance is doing the right thing, even when it's difficult. Even when everyone else is doing it, and you feel, okay, I think this is the right thing to do, but if I do this, I may lose. If I do this, I may lose money. So in that crucial decision, what will you listen to? Ethical brilliance means doing the right thing, even when it's difficult. Okay, the next pillar of ethical brilliance that I'd like to share with you is stewardship. Stewardship means prioritizing the common good over personal gain. And one very powerful and inspiring example is Prime Minister Jacinta Ardern of New Zealand. She was praised for her efforts, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. New Zealand was so efficient in solving the problems of the COVID-19 pandemic. And aside from that, they also have this zero carbon emission goal by 2050. Zero carbon emission goal. They care for the environment. And think about this. It is so, for example, it is so easy to buy a bottled water, right? It is so easy. How much is a bottled water? Maybe 30 pesos, 50 pesos. It is so easy. We have the money to buy bottled water anyway. But what is the cost of buying a bottled water? How many years does it take to decompose that plastic water bottle? The cost to the environment of that water bottle is much more expensive than the amount you paid for it. So stewardship means what is good for what is good for everyone, not just for me. Okay? Another thing is that Prime Minister Arden also have this project called wherein they prioritize well-being. What that means is that they prioritize the mental health of their people. Nowadays, it's more common to talk about mental health. But maybe in the past, pag merong mga malungkot or nag-inarte, parang feeling natin nag-inarte or nade-depress, ang sinasabi, wala yan, tulog mo lang yan. Anong mental health, mental health? But nowadays, people are more open to this dialogue about mental health. Okay? So as stewardship, and the last pillar of ethical brilliance is tenacity. So what does tenacity mean? Tenacity means not stopping, even when it gets difficult. Think about in your personal life, was there a time wherein you did something and you pushed through with it, even when it's difficult? Maybe for some of you, naging working student po kayo. Sino mo dito naging working students during your time? So, sir, all right. So it was hard. It was hard to study and work at the same time. But you did your best to finish your studies because you wanted to provide a better future for your children. And how does that make you feel right now? Sir, how does that make you feel right now? Good. So tenacity is doing the right thing even when it gets difficult and not stopping. Let me share with you a personal story. I used to be an employee for 9 years, and in my first year as an employee, I got buried in credit card debts. And at that time, I was sick and tired of my job. I wanted to quit my job, but I couldn't because number one, I had messy finances, and number two, I asked myself, if I will resign, what will I do? Where will I go? I didn't know the answer. I suffered what you call the quarter-life crisis. And I could still remember that moment. It was 11 a.m., I checked my wallet and I only had 50 pesos. Yung sweldo, darating ko po in 3 days. And I was shy to borrow money from my office mates. So I called up my papa who was based in the province at sabi ko, Pap, pwede manghiram ng 1,000 pesos. Sa totoo lang, hindi naman talaga hiram yun, hingi yun. Pero hiyang-hiya akong aminin sa papa ko na kahit nagtatrabaho ako sa magarang kumpanya, sa Makati, ang totoo ay broke ako. My papa, very loving as he was and he still is, sent me money via LBC. From my office along Ayala Avenue, naglakad po ako ng 1 kilometro papuntang Buendia. And from Buendia, naglakad ako ng 1 kilometro para mahanap yung LBC, makuha yung 1,000 pesos para may pambili ako ng lunch. You know, naka-high heels ako, 12 noon, wala akong payong. And women know this, masakit pang mag-high heels. Masakit sa paa. But the physical pain I felt was nothing compared to what I felt inside. I felt stripped of my dignity. And it's because I didn't know how to manage my money. So at that time, habang naglalakad ako sa kainitan ng araw along Buendia, that's when I had a dream. And the dream was, I want to reach a point where at any given day, I'll have money to buy myself lunch. At any given week, I can tell myself, Sha, where do you want to work? Boracay, Tagaytay, Singapore, the Maldives, and I can do that without compromising someone else's time. So I attended seminars on money management, I sought mentors, and finally after 3 years, I was able to zero out my debts, and I was able to save and invest. And I tried to talk about money management to my friends, but every time I would talk about money amongst my friends, they would shy away from the conversation. Kasi di ba po, sa mga Pinoys, tabu yung pera. You cannot just tell someone, magkano pera mo sa bangko? Or magkano utang mo? Diba? Parang bastos yun. So there's this burning message that I wanted to share, especially amongst young professionals, but no one wanted to listen to me. That's when the idea of writing a book came to mind. And when it came to mind, I felt so uncomfortable because number one, I was not a writer. Number two, I hated writing. I was a math person. I loved numbers. But the calling was so strong. The calling to write a book was so strong, I finally heeded the call. It took me 3 years to write my first book because I didn't know anything about writing a book. And then I realized, even if writing a book is on the creative side, there has to be a formula. If you know the formula, you can write a book. So since I was a math person who loved formulas, I created the formula for writing a book. Wherein the only thing that you need, the only skill that you need, is the skill to write a sentence. Okay, quick survey po tayo. Sino po dito gusto magsulat ng libro? Alright. Sino po dito, I can prove to you, right, in this moment, that anyone can write a book. Your seatmate can write a book. Can you smile at your seatmate? Magiging author yan kung gusto niya. Okay, very quick survey again. Raise your hands if the answer is yes. Who among you can write a sentence? Of course, lahat, di ba? Who among you has ever sent a text message that was understood by the other person? Okay, lahat. Who among you has ever posted anything on Facebook or social media that merited a like or a comment? So if you can do that, then you can write a book. Can you tell the person beside you, you can write a book? Okay, let me prove to you why you can write a book. If you can write a sentence, then you can write a book. Why? It's because sentences make up a paragraph, paragraphs make up a chapter, and chapters make up a book. So it's just a matter of how do you put the sentences together to come up with paragraphs, and then chapters, and then book. So that's where the formula comes in. So just to continue with my story, fast forward to today, I've written 15 books. And thank you. And today, I've helped over 200 first-time authors, non-writers, write, publish, and launch their books. So if there is a legacy that you want to leave through your book, one of the best ways to do that is by writing a book. It's not easy, and that's where tenacity comes in. So after I've written books, I got invited to speak in seminars and organizations, and these also were some of the people who got hold of my books. And these were some of the brands that tapped me as their speaker. And then I got invited as well to visit countries like Singapore, the Maldives, India, the US, France, etc. to give talks. And it's all because I've written books. So if there is a message that you would like to leave to the next generation, you can consider writing a book. Okay, so just to continue with my story a while ago, this is how I see you, superheroes. Again, can you please look at the person beside you? Does that person look like a superhero to you? Ethical brilliance leads to fearless possibilities. So we talked about the 5 pillars of ethical brilliance. T stands for tenacity, T stands for transparency, R stands for reliability, U, uprightness, S, stewardship, and T, tenacity. The acronym is trust. Because really, trust is the foundation of any relationship. If people don't trust you, they won't do business with you. If people don't trust you, they won't elect you to your respective offices. The fact that you are here right now means that people trusted you. People trusted you to represent them at Phabdrec. And that is such a huge responsibility. And I want to honor you for being here. You are superheroes who can be trusted. I said in the beginning that you will not see ethics in the same way again, because you will now see ethics, relate ethics with who you are. You are the kind of person who can be trusted. That's why you are here. You won't be here if your constituents did not trust you. You won't be here if the members did not elect you as president. You are a trustworthy person. You are a person who embodies ethical brilliance. And I'm sure you know other people who embody ethical brilliance. And I'd like to share one of the people I really admire and respect, my papa. Thank you. Thank you. So my papa embodies ethical brilliance. And there are so many anecdotes that I can share about how he embodies that. But one of my favorites was when I was in high school, first year high school. I visited him in his office. He was a college dean and a college professor at that time. I visited him in his office and I said, wow, parang laki ng office mo. And then I saw a ream of bond paper. And I got the ream of bond paper and I asked my papa, Pa, hingi ako may project kami sa school. And my papa said, Sha, no. Hindi atin yan. It didn't make sense to me at that time, so I asked my papa, Pa, I just need a few pieces. Can I get some? And my papa repeated his answer to me and said, no, Sha, hindi atin yan. Huwag kang mag-alala, bago tayo umuwi, bibilhan kita ng bond papers. That happened more than 20 years ago. And up to now, I can still remember that story. And it really resonated with me. My papa was honest in small things. And he even told us when we were still studying, sabi niya, mas gusto ko pa na bumagsak kayo sa exams kaysa malaman ko na nag-cheat kayo. But of course, hindi rin acceptable na babagsak kami. So, ang ibig sabihin talaga na mag-aral kayo mabuti. But cheating is not an option. And I could still remember that moment. I was in high school again. And buong class, meron kaming strategy on how to pass that subject. The teacher was there. She could see what was happening. And she did not say anything. She was kind of okay with it. And I remember, pinasa na sa akin yung kodigo. Nasa harap ko na. And there were so many thoughts in my mind. Thoughts like, wag kayong mag-cheat. Yung boses ng papa ko naririnig ko. At the same time, I wanted to argue, pag hindi ako mag-cheat, baka hindi ako papasa dito sa exam na to kasi napakahirap niya. Pag hindi ako mag-cheat, unfair. Kasi lahat naman nag-cheat. And even the teacher is aware that people are cheating and she's okay with it. Pag hindi ako nag-cheat, lugi ako. Pag hindi ako mag-cheat, talo ako ng competitor ko. Kasi nung high school, di ba matindi yung competition? But the voice of my papa was so strong. Sabi niya, mas gusto ko pang bumagsak kayo kaysa mag-cheat, kaysa malaman ko mag-cheat kayo. So I pulled my chair aside. Wala na ako dun sa sistema. And I just faced the wall. And I just continued answering. Ethical brilliance speaks in those little things where we need to make the hard decisions. Hard decisions like, Hindi ba ako maglalagay sa traffic enforcer? Hard decisions like, iuwi ko ba itong bond paper? Konti lang naman. Hard decisions like, will I choose to make my children proud of me by doing the right thing? Will I feel bad about myself? Will I feel ashamed of myself if my children learn that I cheated my way to this success? Those are the hard decisions that we need to make. And ethical brilliance will pave way to that. Again, this is how I see you. You are superheroes. You are here because you embody the pillars of ethical brilliance, which can be summarized into one word: trust. People trusted you, that's why you are here. People trusted you, that's why they elected you to your respective positions. And I am here. And to be very honest, I am looking at superheroes. You are superheroes. You took time away from your families, away from your loved ones to be here because you are committed to serving your respective communities. And so I want to offer a cheers, a toast with you, a toast with you. If you can please raise a glass of water. And as you do that, can I invite everyone to please stand up? And let's offer cheers to the superheroes of Phabdrec and Phabdrec. Look at the person beside you. Say cheers, superhero. Okay, thank you very much. You may now take your seats. Ethical brilliance is so important because if you lost the trust of the people who look up to you, the people who trust you, it is so hard to regain that trust. And ethical brilliance also means being responsible for what was given to us. I'll share one last story and then I'll end. In 2017, I flew to Bacolod to attend the Toastmasters International Convention. Toastmasters is a public speaking organization. So I flew to Bacolod to attend the Toastmasters International Convention. And since I'll be in Bacolod anyway, I told one of the members of my team, Clarice, to find a local school for me where I can give a talk. So Clarice found a local school. It's a school right in the middle of a farm. So the students there, the pupils, are children of sugarcane farmers in Bacolod. So I went there to give a talk. And after my talk, I got to talk to some of the students. So kinausap ko yung mga ilang students. Yung valedictorian nila, nalaman ko na ang pangarap niya ay maging maid sa Manila, maging katulong sa Manila. I talked to the other students. Yung isa doon, pangarap niya maging janitor. Yung isa, pangarap niya maging bagger. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a maid or a bagger or a janitor. But the reason why those were their dreams was because they had no other examples. Yung pinsan nila na mas matanda sa kanila, bagger. Yung kaibigan ng pinsan nila, janitor or maid. And so, ang alam lang nilang posibleng future nila is either maging katulong, maging bagger, or maid. And so I told my team member, Clarice, okay, let's look for ways to help them further. Fast forward to the January of the next year, there was a call for scholarship from Sun Life Foundation. So they wanted to give 100,000 pesos to 10 winners who can do a project for the poor communities. So there were I think there were 100 people who submitted their proposals. And from 100 people, they chose 50 to attend the seminar. And from 50, they chose 20. So from 20, each of those 20 participants will pitch to the directors. And then from 20, the directors will choose 10. Now, imagine you were one of the board of directors and you will listen to 20 people pitch to you. How would you feel? By the time the 10th speaker is speaking, how would you feel by the time the 20th speaker is speaking? Siguro pagod na, di ba? Parang gusto mo lang talaga siyang matapos na. I was the 20th speaker. So yung pressure na magsalita for 20 minutes, for 7 minutes, and I was the 20th speaker, napakataas po. To cut the long story short, so I shared a story with them, and then I gave my pitch, and we won that 100,000 pesos. Thank you, sir. A few months later, I and my team flew to Bacolod, and then we had a whole day seminar again for the students. We taught them how to manage their money, and then we taught them how to dream. So that was a whole day seminar. And then after that, my team, who was based in Bacolod, did some follow-up sessions with these students. So that happened in 2018. Today is 2020, now it's 2024, right? Gusto niyo pong malaman ano na yung mga trabaho ng mga bata, ng mga estudyante na nakagraduate na? So one of them is now a call center supervisor. Yes, thank you. Another is an artist. Another works in Jollibee. Another works in the office. So what am I saying? Ngayon po, sa community na yun, ng sugarcane farmers na nakatira doon sa maliit na community, ngayon meron na silang bagong vision. Si ate ganito, supervisor ng call center. Si kuya ganito, artist na. So the younger generation now has inspiration. Isipin na nila, wow, kung kaya nila, kaya ko rin. Ano kaya din yung posible sa akin? What are the possibilities for me as well? So I'm sharing this with you because imagine the ripple effect, the amount of change each of one can do. Sa table na to, si Sir babalik sa Mindanao, you will be the symbol of change in your locality, and then you will inspire one person, and then 2, and then 10, and those people can inspire 10 more, 20 more, 50 more. So imagine the ripple effect that we can do. You are superheroes. And that is the secret. Do you know why some people have a hard time losing weight? Do you know why some people have a hard time? Wala pa akong tinitingnan. Sorry sa example. Do you know why some people have a hard time doing something that they committed to doing? It's not because of willpower. It is because of the identity, of your identity. Even if you have the willpower, even if you have the discipline to exercise, to eat the right food, to do the right thing, if you don't assume your identity, after some time, you will falter. It will be hard for you to sustain. And that's the reason why we are reminding you, I am here to remind you who you are, that you are a superhero, that you are a trusted individual. Each of you is a trusted individual, and that is why you are here. You just need to embody your identity. I also shared a while ago that we were able to help 200 first-time authors write, publish, and launch their books. Now think about in your high school. Do you know of the most intelligent person in your high school? Or do you know of the people in your area who's so good at writing? Has that person written a book, even if he wants to? No, because talent is not enough. Hard work, willpower, those are not enough. What will really make you do that is when you assume your identity that you are an author. So when I teach people how to write books, I would address them as author on day 1 because they are already authors. They just need to write the book. But it's done. And in the same way, I am here not to teach you about ethics. For all I know, you know better than me about ethics. You've been living it, you've been doing it. So I am here to remind you of your identity as a superhero, as a trusted individual, as trusted individuals. Because that is who you are. So when you hear of the word ethics, you will never see ethics in the same way again. You will equate ethics with who you are. A person who is trustworthy, a person who embodies ethical brilliance. It is such an honor for me to spend this morning with you. And while I was on that table, I was observing how the people in our table was interacting. And they were so, these are high officers. And I observed how humble they are. And even I was inspired. Sir Al was talking to me and he was asking what I do. He was asking my name. He was really listening. This table inspired me today because they're the ones who are closest to me. The people here are closest to me. But you know what? Each one of you inspired me today. Each one of you inspired me today because of your willingness, hunger, and humility to listen. Maybe some of you are about my age or younger than me. Maybe most of you are a bit more advanced than me when it comes to age and wisdom. And the fact that you're listening speaks volumes about your character, humility, and confidence. Because some people may say, sino ba yung batang yan na nagsala sila? Ba't ako makikinig sa kanya? But you are all listening, you are nodding, and you inspire me. So, when I prepared my talk, I assumed that the people in this room are superheroes. I assumed that the people in this room are trustworthy people who embody the pillars of ethical brilliance. And now, in the short time that I spent time with you, that was no longer an assumption. You confirmed my assumption. You confirmed my assumption by your behavior to listen, by your behavior to participate. And I also see that you are people who are not just embrace the pillars of ethical brilliance. You are also cool and fun people because you were so game to stand up a while ago and sing and dance for us. And I know it's almost lunchtime, and for some of you, maybe you're hungry, and I also want to honor that. So I just want to leave with this statement. And I want to reiterate what I said in the beginning. You are superheroes. You bring light to your respective communities. And you have the potential to create ripples of change and possibilities, not just in your localities, but even outside your localities. So for the last time, I'd like everyone to please stand up. And with all sincerity, please look at the person beside you. If you want, you can shake the hand of that person. Or if you want, you can do a high five or fist bump and just tell that person, thank you for being here. Thank you, superhero. This is Sha Nacino. Possibilities. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Sha, for that clever classroom discussion regarding greatness with ethical brilliance. And I know you partner, na meron mo mga katanungan na mga tao, yung ating mga... And we are very lucky to be with our international multimedia speaker partner,
And of course, author of different books.
yes, sabi na like that, you know, for how many times Ma'am Sha mentioned that we wears cake. Some of them are here today. Andito kayo yung mga ibang, lahat andito kayo yung nasa studio.
Parang nakaka-intimidate si Ma'am Sha.
Bakit?
She's very down to earth at nakakapang.
Very sweet.
Thank you.
So that's why we go to our first question. And this are questions from our texters. And this is questions from our board of directors in the 5-year group. So that's the first question. Is it safe to say that sometimes being tenacious can be toxic? Not something you get when it's hard. That's the first question. Is it
Being
safe?
tenacious can be toxic.
Oo, that being tenacious can be toxic.
Okay.
Toxic na ba yan? You don't stop drinking ng alam ng mundo. Na minsan, kailangan ka na. Diba?
Kaya ayaw ko ba?
Pero parang gusto mo bumitaw pero huwag muna.
Depende po kung saan ka naging tenacious, di ba? Let's say you're in a wrong relationship. Tapos pinipilit mo, you're working hard to make it work, but it was wrong in the beginning, it was toxic in the beginning, then you need to quit. But when it comes to your principles, when it comes to doing the right good, doing the right thing, stick with it. Even when it gets hard. You can rest, but don't quit.
Sabi, what if gusto mo na susuko? Kailan mo ba ang tamang mag-give up?
So, pag ano po talaga, pag nauubos ka na, sobrang burnt out ka na, then you need to rest. And then you need to recalibrate. Do I need to push through with this or not? And then check your hierarchy of values. Maybe you're fighting for this particular value. Maybe the value is truthfulness. Is there a higher value which is kindness? So, example po dito is may nagtanong sa'yo, and maybe this person feels down about herself. Tapos tinanong niya sa'yo, maganda ba yung suot ko? So, do you value truthfulness over kindness? Or kindness over truthfulness? Let's say yung suot po talaga niya hindi talaga maganda, hindi talaga kagandahan. Will you say hindi maganda and put that person down? Or will you say, you know, ang ganda ng smile mo? Diba? So, kindness over truthfulness. It's about the hierarchy of values.
Only just perspective, ano siya. Ano natin yun, minsan po sa board of directors natin. Kasi most of this board of directors, within the cooperative, sila before yung mga empleyado din, at naging board of directors na rin yung iba. So minsan marami na yung problema yung harap sa cooperative.
Yes.
Pwede na bang lumipa bilang board of directors? Kasi ang dami ng mga rulings, ang dami ng mga compliances, but still, ang dami na rin yung mga board of directors still fighting.
Yes, alam niyo po, lahat nadadaan sa maayos na usapan. So you can talk about it. And you can come up with a compromise. As long as the compromise doesn't mean compromising your dignity, compromising your values, or compromising the integrity of the organization.
Wow. Thank you so much.
The word is compromise.
We can talk.
Anyway, let's listen to our questions. And I think parang excited na din ang iba. We will just have to cut this for a bit on shot because we will have the awarding of our speaker and we will request our Phabdrec, our Phabdrec president, ayan, to for the awarding, sir. Okay, you speak there po kami siya. Sir Francis, please.
All right, so we would like to present you a certificate and for the great discussion we just completed here in the business as well. And the certificate we'd like to invite the founder of corporate.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
and certainly it's not going to see the board of directors who are in the certificate of opposition. President to Sha Nacino for
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Lito.
board of directors, rural cooperatives,